One of the most misunderstood term when it comes to the sales processes in business automation is sales pipeline. In this video, I'm going to make sure that you understand what a sales pipeline really is as a small business, and you also understand how sales process changes depending upon different industries. So let's start with this video. My name is Chandan, and I have been working with Sales and HubSpot Business Automation as their registered, partner, consulting partner, and I've come across this question quite a lot. So it seems like this is a very basic, but yes, I mean, people do have questions, and my video is to address those people and give them understanding of what sales process and how a sales pipeline is connected with your sales process. So let's dive deep into the topic. A sales pipeline is connected to your sales process. It has nothing to do with the marketing automation or the service automation. So to understand the sales process, of course, you might be knowing that every industry has its own, basic structure for sales process. Now, it changes also depending upon the business, completely upon exactly what works for them and what does not work for them. Maybe they would want to remove some stage, or maybe they would like to add some stage. Probably because, like I said, it depends upon what works for them and what does not. Sales pipeline is basically a visual representation, right, of exactly those steps, in the sales process. It's called differently with different tools. So when it comes to HubSpot, it's known as deals. When it comes to Salesforce, it's called as opportunities, right? But it remains the same, and it is always changeable. You can always change it. Go inside the tool and change it if you're using a business automation tool, one of these, or any other tool. Even if you're using Zoho, you have the flexibility to go inside and change according to your business process and your industry, right? One more thing what I've seen is that companies do create the basic pipeline based on the industry, but the changes at times go to multiple stages, right? Because they think that, okay, a typical industry process, sales process, might not work for them. So be open to make those changes as well. Let's now look at three different industries and their basic sales process and sales pipeline. Once again, this is only for visual representation. So visually, you have the clarity of exactly what a particular contact or a particular prospect is at what stage of sales, right? So let's have a look and let's see for yourself how it works and how you would like to change this particular process for your business. So we will start the sales pipeline for retail, which is you can also call it an e-commerce. This is a very typical one. Of course, there are multiple stages to this sales process, but let's start with retail. Now look at the step. Step one is always browsing, where the prospect is browsing the website or the existing product catalog, and then they are going to make selection, right? Once the selection is made, either they make a selection and go to the next step, or they make a selection and then they decide to abandon for multiple reasons, of course. And then in both the cases, when it is abandoned, then they don't take any step for the checkout, but it is basically called as abandoned cart. When it comes to the selection and moving ahead, of course, they go ahead and make the checkout. Now, once they have checked out, all these stages are reflected inside the CRM. It is reflected inside the business automation tool that you are using, and you'll be able to see, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and of course you can add multiple steps. In fact, I have seen as many as 10 to 11 steps added into it. It again, like I mentioned before, depends upon your business objective. It depends upon how things work for you. Now, once you have created this, go ahead inside the tool and create these stages. Once those stages are created inside the tool, then you'll have to use a certain kind of workflow which looks at every contact and decides where to put it. Now, based on the browsing stage, you might want to take certain step. Based on the selection stage, again, you might want to take certain step. You might want to assign it to some of your existing team members because you think that if somebody has made any selection, right, they might, of course, want to go ahead and do something. Probability is, of course, high when they have made a selection, and of course probability is even higher when it comes to abandon cart. One example of the step what a salesperson takes is that they offer discounts, and they offer certain kind of an offer to the abandoned cart users so that they can go ahead and do a checkout. So this is the pipeline for retail. Just look at this sentence where I say the life cycle is always very shorter, just for a few days or a week when it comes to the sales pipeline for retail. Now let's go to a sales pipeline for a B2B business. Now here again you have these stages. We have here 6 different stages: lead generation, then it comes to lead nurturing, need assessment, proposal submission, contract negotiation, and then finally the deal closing. Here we also have closing, and we can also have a stage where it says deal cancelled or deal did not work, right? So lead generation, so in both these stages that we have discussed, first in the retail section as well as the lead generation of B2B, the lead is coming from the website or maybe being uploaded in the CRM, or there are different means from where we can get the leads and then go to the next step. This again can be increased or decreased based upon your scenario. Next is real estate, sales pipeline for real estate. Let's have a look at the sales pipeline for the real estate, where again this is the same kind of a pipeline, multiple steps, 5 steps here. We have lead generation, property visit, offer submission, where the real estate agent submits an offer to the visitor who has just come and seen the property. Then the next stage comes for negotiation, and then it's deal closing. Now here, if you see how can we make it in the CRM, we will take example of Salesforce as well as HubSpot. If you see in Salesforce, we have this opportunities. It's called basically opportunities, and you can go inside the opportunity section and then go inside the Salesforce setup, create these stages, and of course make certain flows which decides where to put a certain contact, right, and where does that contact go inside any deal stage. Based on this deal stage, salesperson can take any action. Next comes the HubSpot. HubSpot is basically named as deals. As you can see here as well, we have multiple steps. The examples which you have just seen from Salesforce as well as HubSpot, they both are taken from the internet, so they are not real contact. Just wanted to show you that, okay, sales pipeline is basically the visual representation only of particular contact and in what stage that contact is. So this helps a lot to the sales team members. So it's important for organizations to customize their sales pipeline based on the unique characteristics of the industry and the specific needs of the customers. The stages should also align with the typical buyer's journey in that particular industry, and the sales team should adapt these strategies accordingly. So I hope you have liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and comment if you have some insights to share. Thank you for watching.